Hey, it's Devin, Burke, your coach and guide to getting a peaceful night's rest. And today I'm going to talk about a really important topic, which is how to work with stressful thoughts in the middle of the night. This is a very common thing, a very common pattern that people that have sleep maintenance, insomnia experience. They wake up to use the restroom, or they just wake up because their body wakes them up, and then the mind starts to race and they start to think about all the things in the past or the future that they're worried about. And next thing you know, the body's responding with cortisol and adrenaline, and you're up for the rest of the night, or you're just having a really hard time getting back to sleep. So today I'm going to give you, literally there's going to be 5 steps plus a bonus step at the end that are just really clear, super helpful for people that have this pattern being presented in their sleep. So first and foremost, really important, when this happens, or if this happens, you want to get out of bed. This is so critical. A lot of people make the big mistake of lying in bed, allowing their mind to race, think about all the things they're worried about or not happy about, that's all the things that are going on that they want to change, and they lie there in bed and let this happen. And what we're doing is we're anchoring the bed with this pattern. So if after about 20 minutes sleep isn't happening, take yourself out of the bedroom, go to a place, and then implement these 5 steps, which I'm about to share with you. Really critical. You don't want to lie in bed and sort of fight your mind or battle your mind or try to turn off your mind. Not helpful. It will not. It will keep this pattern alive. And so highly recommend that you first and foremost get out of bed and then do these practices. So the first step here is really to identify the thoughts and the stories that are running in your mind. So it's really helpful to write them down on a piece of paper. And the reason why it's so helpful to write them on a piece of paper is that our minds are a lot quicker than our hands. And it's helpful just to kind of see the stories and the thoughts on a blank piece of paper versus kind of trying to figure it out in our head. So you just want to write down, okay, I'm thinking about this presentation at work, or I'm thinking about this relationship, or I'm worried about this specific person. Whatever it is, be as specific as possible and write it down. That's step 1. Write it down or identify very clearly what the thoughts and stories are that are creating the sensations in your body that we call stress, anxiety, fear, doubt, and worry. And that leads me right to the next step. So the next step is to connect to the raw sensations these thoughts and stories create in your body. So for some of you, they might present a racing heart, or a tightness in the chest, or maybe a tightness in the face, or it could be, feeling hot, feeling cold. It could be, tightness in your throat. Everyone kind of experiences stress, anxiety, fear, doubt, and worry in their body in different ways. So just start to notice, what do these thoughts and these stories, when you believe them to be true, or you're kind of, they're running in your mind, now you're aware of them, what kind of sensations are you feeling in your body? Really important to identify what your body's trying to communicate to you through the raw physical sensations in the body. So this can be helpful to write it down. I'm experiencing tightness in my chest. I'm experiencing, my heart is racing. I'm experiencing tightness in my throat, or I'm feeling cold, or I'm feeling hot. Really, I try to identify what is the raw sensation that these thoughts and stories create in your body. That's step 2, okay? Step 3 is to then start to ask yourself, is this thought or story absolutely true? In other words, do I know with absolute certainty that XYZ is true? Do I know with absolute certainty that tomorrow is going to be a terrible day because I'm not going to be able to get back to sleep, that I'm going to lose my job, I'm going to lose the account, I'm going to lose my relationship? Whatever it is that's creating the raw sensations in your body, really be honest and ask yourself with absolute certainty, do I know this to be true? And if you're really honest, most of the time, almost like 99.9% of the time, it's no. We don't really know the truth. We know half-truths, or we project our past into our future and think that we know the truth, or we know what's going to happen, but we really don't know. This does take some honesty when we ask this question, and you want to ask it for yourself. And sometimes things feel really true. We have a lot of evidence to support our perspective. But it's really empowering and really freeing to ask this question. This question comes from the work of a woman named Byron Katie, who wrote an amazing book, Loving What Is. Definitely check out her work. She has a couple more steps in inquiry into how to really connect to the present and identify what is true and what's not. But just asking this one question can be very, very supportive to create a sense of safety in the body. And so ask that question, identify what comes up for you as true or not true, and then you move on to the next question, which is what's not in my control about this situation, this person. Really get clear and be honest about what's not in your control. And this can be a bit of a challenging step for people because most of the time, most of us, we're very confused about what's in our control and what's not in our control. And again, it takes some real honesty here. But when we really think about it, most of what we think is in our control is actually not. And when we realize that, we can start to let go, which is a key element to this whole process, is letting go. Because when we hold on so tight, it keeps this pattern alive. It keeps the mind trying to problem solve, trying to figure it out, keeps the body in fight or flight. And that's really the last thing we want happening in the middle of the night. We want to try and break that pattern. So the next step here is then to connect to what's in my control about this situation or this person or whatever it is that the thoughts and the stories that you came up with that were creating the sensations in your body. You want to ask really deeply, what's in my control? And there shouldn't be a my there, it's just a my. There's just one my here. But you want to ask, what is in my control? And really, if you really ask this question, what's in your control is how you respond, what you make it mean, and what behavior you have, which is how you respond. That's really what's all in the only thing that's in our control. And that can be a really freeing place to realize, okay, well, the story I'm telling myself about this person or this situation, the meaning I'm applying to it and what I do about it, that's all in my control, but that's really it. There's not much more that's in our control besides what I just mentioned there. And then this last question is a little bit of a bonus question, is what can I do to meet these thoughts or these stories with more understanding? And this is a really great question to journal on because sometimes we're really surprised by the answers that come when we ask better questions. And this is a really good question to ask. And for you, you might be surprised what type of insight or clarity or idea comes from asking this question and really sitting with it. So the last step here is really to just repeat steps 1 through 5. You want to repeat steps 1 through 5, and you want to make this a practice. The more you practice working with difficult thoughts, the more you practice feeling and welcoming sensations, watching them come, watching them go, the more you uncouple a racing mind and fear, doubt, and worry emotions from your bed and bedroom, the easier it is for sleep to happen. And sleep happens when we get our mind and body out of the way of it happening. It's a natural process. And so I hope these steps are helpful for you. Give them a try. Let me know in the comments below how it goes. Again, this is a practice. We're not doing this so that we can get back to sleep. That would be a form of trying to control. We're just doing it because it helps us create more understanding. And with more understanding, we have more choice. So share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Apply these steps. And then again, let me know in the comments how it goes for you, and I'll see you in the next video.